What's up, everybody? My name's Adam Glick. Follow me on my cooking adventures, outdoors, over a campfire. Join me on the ultimate Kentucky experience, connecting with locals and eating my way around the Bluegrass State. Today I'm in the heart of horse and bourbon country in Versailles, Kentucky. While here, I'm going to learn how to ride a thoroughbred racehorse at Buck Pond Farms.
That was killer.
First, I'm meeting up with Woodford Reserves Assistant Master Distiller, Elizabeth McCall, where she'll take me through the bourbon making process.
Hi.
You must be Elizabeth.
Yes, you must be Anna.
Pleasure to meet you.
Thanks for coming out.
Thanks for having me. I can't wait to check this place out.
So in the distillery, you come in and first we have to mash the grain, so we just kind of make a porridge with it. Then when you saw those fermenters where it was bubbling along,
Yep.
That's the mash with the yeast in it.
Gotcha.
And that's where alcohol is being made. So those yeast are eating all that sugar, turning it into alcohol, CO2, and heat. Then we will heat the stills up, and that's where really separation happens. And the alcohol vaporizes off, and then it condenses down, and that's what that clear liquid is that comes out.
It's so bizarre to me that you don't think of a whiskey or a bourbon or a scotch, any of those sort of colored amber spirits as being born clear.
And it gets 100% of its color from that barrel. So once we've got it in the barrel, we send it down to the warehouses, and once we put them in their spot, they will rest there for the next 5 to 7 years.
So that one I signed, I can come back in 6 years and pick it up?
Yep, we'll have it in a special spot.
I would love
waiting
that.
for you.
Perfect.
So I'm gonna make us the Woodford Spire cocktail.
A Spire, is that like a local thing or is that a Woodford thing?
It's a Kentucky Derby thing.
Even better.
Yes.
We're riding horses later today.
Exactly. You're in heart of Kentucky, it's bourbon and horses. And Woodford Reserve does that best.
So you started off with what looked like a shot of Woodford.
Essentially, it's 1.5 ounces of Woodford Reserve.
Big shot.
Big shot. Very nice, generous pour.
I like that.
We'll do 2 parts of it with lemonade, then we'll have just 1 part of it cranberry juice.
And that's just gonna add some more color on top, right?
Just kind of rounds it out. I mean, look at that.
Oh yeah. Oh, that is pretty.
We've got nice little lemon twist here. You just kind of
Bring
zest
out
it
those
over there.
essential oils.
There you go. It's your Woodford Spire.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Thanks so much for the tour.
As Elizabeth mentioned, bourbon and horses go hand in hand, so we packed up shop to find some horses to ride. While most people go out on trail rides here, I managed to kick it up a notch with some insider connections at the elite racehorse training facility, Buck Pond Farms.
Where I met up with Joe, a thoroughbred trainer. This guy trains some of the best racing horses in the world.
Nice to meet you, Joe. So what do you do here?
I ride horses. They pay me to do this.
They pay me to do this.
honestly, yeah.
They pay me to cook for some
You
reason.
can cook me something. I'll teach you how to ride if you want.
Actually, that's exactly what I was hoping we could do today. Maybe I could do some riding.
I've got the horse for you, man. The horse is Wild River. He ran 4th in his first start. He got a little sprain, and so he came back home. And so now he's just almost ready to go back to the races again. So,
How long have you been working here?
23 years.
23 years.
All I do is just ride horses.
Holy cannoli.
But I love it here. This is kind of like kindergarten for race horses.
So you're preparing these horses to hit the
To
racetrack.
go to the racetrack, that's exactly right. The reins, pretend they're silk threads, and he will respond to each command you give him. And you kind of let him know that you're on him at all times. You don't turn off.
Right.
You'll feel every part. You'll feel his heartbeat. You'll feel all of it. As soon as you get on, you'll become part of the horse. Good boy. He wants to teach me how to cook.
Oh, okay.
How crazy is that?
You know how to cook anything? Well, I don't know how to ride anything.
Just don't fall off. And there you go. Keep your feet forward. Listen up. Good boy. Come on. Come on. Anything?
Feels good.
Do it like this. Yeah, there you go. And then all you have to do is just turn your hand a little bit, and he knows what you want. Hands down, Adam. There you go. There you go. Is that fun or what?
Hey, man, that was too much
Is that
fun.
cool or what?
I'm ready, man.
Well done. We're doing a crash course right here, Adam.
Sure.
And what you learn today, people take forever to learn, I promise you.
So since Joe took the time to teach me how to ride a thoroughbred racehorse, I'm gonna teach him how to make an incredible dessert for his family, right here on the farm.
This is how I like to cook, Joe.
Right.
It's very simple food. All it involves is bananas, croissants, a little bit of fresh mint, brown sugar, and of course, Kentucky bourbon.
Utilize your log.
If I can keep this relatively level, I'll be able to slap my pot right on top. What we're gonna do first is toast up our croissants. I just wanna chop these up into some nice big chunks, just enough to coat the bottom of the pan. Now that the croissant's all finished up, let's pull it from the pan, set it aside for a minute, and let's use the same pan to cook our bananas. And you only need enough to coat the bottom of the pan. Let's go ahead and add the bananas to the butter. Let's make sure they get nice and coated. Don't stir them anymore, okay? Just let it sit, okay? One second you start stirring these, they're gonna turn into mush.
Okay.
See that beautiful color right there? That's what we're looking for. Let's add whiskey. Now that we've deglazed this pan with our bourbon, let's add the brown sugar. It's the brown sugar that's gonna turn this into a sauce. The liquids from the bananas are starting to break down. The whiskey's in there. The sugar itself is starting to melt. Look at that beautiful sauce. What I could do is put another little dollop of butter in there, and that's gonna help maintain it and turn it into sort of a caramel. And you know that's all caramel is. Melted sugar and butter, okay? Let's let that sit and start plating our dessert. So what I'm gonna do here is take all of these toasted croissants and load them at the base of this plate, right? And all we're gonna do here is lather them with that banana sauce, right?
Okay.
Ooh-wee. Croissants are gonna soak all that up. Nothing goes better with a warm, delicious dessert like this than vanilla ice cream. Check that out. Campside Bananas Foster. What do you think, Joe?
I'm ready to dig in.
Oh, it's already on your shirt. You know it's good.
Dude, that's delicious.
Oh, Joe, this has been one of the better days I can think of in a long time.
I'm glad you enjoyed it.